Hello student. In last lecture we had gone through the mathematical aspects of the osmotic pressure, where we studied two relations between the osmotic pressure and the concentration, and osmotic pressure and the molar mass of the non-volatile solute, where we can calculate or determine the molar mass of any non-volatile solute using osmotic pressure. After that, we discuss about the colligative properties of the electrolytic solution and non-electrolytic solution, where after discussion we got the conclusion that the normally colligative properties for the electrolytic solutions are greater than that of the colligative properties for the non-electrolytic solutions, because in case of electrolytic solution there is dissociation of the electrolyte, which causes increase in a number of particles, and due to increase in a number of particles there is increase in a colligative property also, and due to increase in a colligative property, what happen, there is increase in a colligative property value than that of the non-electrolytic solution. To understand the relationship between the colligative properties of the electrolytic and non-electrolytic solution, we have to first study one important factor which is called as want of factor, Mr. Want of given one factor, one value which describe the relationship between the colligative and non-colligative solution and their colligative properties. And according to this factor, which is denoted by I, according to this factor, it is the ratio of colligative property of electrolytic solution and colligative property of non-electrolytic solution. In other words, we can write I as the ratio for observed colligative property to the theoretical colligative property. Why theoretical and observed? Because normally in terms of electrolytic solution we can calculate colligative property experimentally, but in case of non-electrolyte the colligative properties are taken theoretically, and that's why we can say that I, or want of factor, is the ratio of observed colligative property to the theoretical colligative property. And we can put the mathematical expression in terms of all the colligative property for I as I is equal to, for lowering of vapor pressure, delta P upon delta P, but first delta P will be observed and the second delta P will be theoretical. In second case, that is delta TB, elevation in boiling point observed value, upon elevation in boiling point delta TB, that is theoretical value. In third case, that is a depression in freezing point, that is delta TF observed upon delta TF theoretical. Whereas in case of osmotic pressure, pi observed upon pi theoretical. And in this way we can calculate I using any one of the colligative property with observed and theoretical values. But when we study non-electrolytic solution, we will find that in case of non-electrolytic solution, the observed and theoretical values of the colligative properties are the same, and that's why the value of I always will be 1 for the non-electrolytic solution. But for electrolytic solution, what happen? Due to dissociation there is increase in a number of particles, and due to increase in a number of particles the observed value and theoretical value will be different, and that's why the value of I will be more than 1, So keep in your mind that point, I will be 1 for the non-electrolytic solution and I will be greater than 1 for the electrolytic solution due to increase in the number of particles due to dissociation. Now, any colligative property depends on any colligative property, no doubt lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point or osmotic pressure. Any colligative property depends on number of particles, number of solute particle or number of moles of the solute particle, number of moles of the solute particle, and number of moles of the solute particle are denoted by N solute or N2. And if they are depend on number of solute particle, so that I can be written as I is equal to N observed upon N theoretical. Number of moles value can be also taken as observed and theoretical, and that's why I becomes, it is the ratio of number of observed mole up to the number of theoretical moles, and I is equal to N observed upon N theoretical. Okay, but we know that number of moles are nothing but the given mass upon molar mass. Number of moles are nothing but given mass upon molar mass, and if number of moles are given mass upon molar mass, from this equation we can say that number of moles are inversely proportional to the molar mass, and that's why I can be taken in terms of molar mass as M theoretical upon M observed, because the relation of the number of mole is inversely proportional, and if the number of moles are inversely proportional, that means colligative property also inversely proportional to the molar mass. And if colligative property is inversely proportional to the molar mass, that means I is equal to M theoretical upon M observed. Get it? I is equal to M theoretical upon M observed. This is about the Van't factor. Van't factor is the ratio of colligative property of the electrolytic solution to the colligative property of the non-electrolytic solution, or it may be described as the observed colligative property to the theoretical colligative property, and that's why we can say delta P observed upon delta P theoretical, delta TB observed upon delta TB theoretical, delta TF observed upon delta TF theoretical, pi observed upon pi theoretical. But colligative property depends on N, number of moles of solute, as well as inversely proportional to molar mass, and if it depends on number of moles of solute, that means I is equal to N observed upon N theoretical as per the concept, but N is equal to given mass upon molar mass, and molar mass is inversely proportional. If molar mass is inversely proportional, that means I will be M theoretical upon M observed. This is the Van't factor. Now, as we studied, I will be 1 for the non-electrolytic solution and I will be greater than 1 for the electrolytic solution, and so that there are different mathematical expressions or modified expressions for the electrolytic solution, colligative properties of the electrolytic solutions, and those expressions can be written as, the first expression as delta P, lowering of vapor pressure, as I into P01 x2. For delta TB, the expression will be I into KB into M. For delta TF, the expression will be I into KF into M. And for osmotic pressure, pi is equal to I into mRT. I into mRT. Here, the introduction of a Van't factor to explain the colligative property of the electrolytic solution, because for colligative property of the electrolytic solution, I value will be greater than 1. For non-electrolytic solution, I is always 1. That's why the starting part, when we study the colligative property, those colligative property were in terms of non-electrolytic solution, and here the expressions, modified expressions for the colligative property of the electrolytic solutions. modified expressions for electrolyte solutions according to the want of factor. Get it? This is very easy part, just there is a introduction of a I. Otherwise delta P, we know that relation delta P is equal to P01 X2, where P01 will be the vapor pressure in a pure form of the solvent and X2 is the mole fraction of the non-volatile solute. Delta P is the lowering of vapor pressure. Here Kb molar elevation constant, M molality, here Kf molar depression constant, here M molarity. Okay, now we are going towards the last portion of our chapter, that is the relationship between want of factor and degree of dissociation. To understand that relation, you should know degree of dissociation first. In 11th standard, we already studied the degree of dissociation part. Degree of dissociation is nothing but the fraction of total number of moles which get dissociated completely. Suppose I have 10 number of moles of an electrolyte, out of which only 5 moles get dissociated. Then the fraction 5 upon 10 will be the degree of dissociation for that electrolyte. Okay, fraction of total number of moles which get dissociated completely is called as degree of dissociation. And to derive that relation, we are going to consider one electrolytic solution having 1 mole. Consider 1 mole of AXBY electrolyte which get dissociated into A M plus and B N minus, and that's why we can write it as AXBY get dissociated as X number of A M plus and Y number of B N minus. Here we are going to consider 1 mole of a substance. That's why initially AXBY electrolyte having value 1 mole, but the A M plus and B N minus ion will be 0. That will be the concentration for the particular particles initial stage and initial stage. But at equilibrium what happen? The some portion of the AXBY electrolyte out of 1 mole will get dissociated. Suppose alpha will be that portion. That means alpha will be the degree of dissociation. Alpha is the part which get dissociated out of 1 mole. Here also alpha will be the part which get dissociated out of 1 mole. But number of particles are X, that's why X alpha, here Y, that's why Y alpha. And if alpha will be the degree of dissociation or the dissociated part, means the 1 minus alpha will be the remaining part which is undissociated part for this electrolyte at the equilibrium. From this we can say that here observed total number of moles is equal to, what will it be the value for observed total number of moles? That will be the sum of undissociated part and dissociated part. Undissociated part is 1 minus alpha plus X alpha plus Y alpha, that will be the dissociated part. Here from X alpha and Y alpha we can take common term as alpha in bracket X plus 1. alpha in bracket x plus y. Okay, get it? For x plus y, suppose x plus y, x and y are the number of particles. Suppose x plus y is equal to n, and that's why equation will become x plus y is equal to n. So that equation will become 1 minus alpha plus alpha in bracket n, alpha in bracket n, that will be the equation. Okay, now we are going to understand the relationship between I and alpha. Then we can consider I here. I will be the observed number of moles upon theoretical number of moles. Observed number of moles, here the value for observed number of moles, and that's why I is equal to written as 1 minus alpha plus alpha in bracket n upon theoretical value will be 1 mole, that's why 1. Okay, now here there are 2 alpha in the term, and that's why we can take 1 alpha as a common term, or we can write it as I, this 1 when will go towards left hand side, it becomes minus 1, and the equation will be minus n alpha minus alpha, n alpha minus alpha. Here alpha will be the common term, and if alpha will be the common term, n minus 1, and from this we can write it as alpha is equal to I minus 1 upon n minus 1, and this is the relationship between degree of dissociation and want of factor I, where I is the want of factor, alpha will be the degree of dissociation, n is the number of particles present in the solution. Get it? Once again I will repeat the things. Here, to understand the relationship between want of factor I and degree of dissociation, first we consider the 1 mole AxBy electrolyte which get dissociated into 2 ions, that is Am plus Bn minus ion. So we put the equation for the dissociation as AxBy gives X number of Am plus ion, Y number of Bn minus ion. Here at initial stage, suppose we take 1 mole of the electrolyte, that means the dissociated part will be the 0 mole at initial state, because initial state this electrolyte does not dissociate, and that's why at initial state the values will be 0. But at equilibrium state, suppose alpha is the dissociated part, that's why X alpha will be the dissociated part for the Am plus, and Y alpha will be the dissociated part for the Bn minus. And if alpha is the dissociation, then undissociated part will be 1 minus alpha, or the remaining part of the AxBy electrolyte will be 1 minus alpha. And from this we can write the observed total number of moles, that is n observed, is equal to 1 minus alpha plus X alpha plus Y alpha, where we take alpha as a common term, that's why equation becomes 1 minus alpha plus alpha in bracket X plus Y. Suppose we have taken X plus Y as a n, that is the number of particles as a n, that's why the equation becomes 1 minus alpha plus alpha in n. But according to the concept of want of factor, I is nothing but the n observed upon n theoretical, as I studied earlier. I is equal to n observed upon n theoretical, but n observed is equal to 1 minus alpha plus alpha into n upon n theoretical. Theoretical means the actual taken value of the number of moles, that is 1, that's why 1. And so that the equation will become, when we put this one on the left hand side, I minus 1, here n alpha as it is and minus alpha as it is. Here we take alpha as a common term, so that I minus 1 is equal to alpha in bracket n minus 1, and so that the equation becomes alpha is equal to I minus 1 upon n minus 1. This will be the relationship between alpha and I, that is the degree of dissociation and want of factor. Hope so you understand this derivation also, and this chapter also you enjoyed this chapter also. If you have any doubt, you can ring me on my number, as well as watch these videos again and again. Then only your concept will be cleared. In this way we completed the solution chapter. In next lecture we are going towards the next chapter. So thank you very much.